In every relationship, trust is the foundation. But what happens when that trust is shattered? Join me as I recount the devastating moment I uncovered the truth about my wife's betrayal. This is a journey through heartbreak, betrayal, and the painful realization that sometimes love just isn't enough. My name is Joseph, and I once believed my marriage was built on trust and love. My wife and I shared dreams, laughter, and a deep connection. However, recent changes in her behavior began to stir doubt, casting a shadow over the bond we had worked so hard to create. In the early days of our marriage, my wife and I shared a deep bond, filled with laughter and shared dreams. We were a team, celebrating each other's successes and weathering life's storms together. Every evening, we would unwind over dinner, discussing our days and planning our future. It felt as if nothing could come between us. However, in recent months, I noticed subtle changes in her behavior. She began spending more time away from home, often citing work commitments or social gatherings. The warmth in her smile seemed to fade, replaced by an air of distraction that left me feeling uneasy. Doubt gnawed at me as signs of betrayal piled up: late texts, hushed calls, and an unfamiliar scent. One evening, I checked her phone and found a chilling message. "Can't wait to see you tonight. Let's make it special." The truth hit me like a blow. She was betraying me, and my world shattered. The laughter, the plans, all felt like a cruel joke. My love for her clashed with the betrayal that loomed over us. Staring at the incriminating text, I felt torn, deep love battling the sting of broken trust. She had shattered the foundation we'd built, and nothing would ever be the same. I grappled with the dichotomy of my feelings, caught between a desperate longing to confront her and the instinct to run away from the pain. How could the woman I loved so fiercely betray me so callously? Part of me wanted to understand what had driven her to seek comfort in someone else. Yet another part of me screamed for justice, for the betrayal to be met with consequences. My heart was a battlefield, torn between love and hurt, leaving me unsure of how to move forward, or if I even wanted to. When she stepped out of the shower, steam enveloped the room, creating a false sense of calm that quickly shattered as I confronted her. I held up her phone, my heart racing as I demanded, "Who is this?" The moment her eyes fell on the screen, I watched the color drain from her face. Panic flickered in her gaze, and I could see her mind racing, searching for an escape. "What? That's just a joke," she stammered, her voice wavering. "You know how friends can be." I could hear the denial in her words, each one a desperate attempt to downplay the reality of the situation. She took a step back, wrapping a towel around herself as if it could shield her from the storm brewing between us. "Don't lie to me," I said, my voice steady but filled with hurt. "I can't believe you would do this. After everything we've been through." Her panic intensified, and she began to plead. "Joseph, please, don't ruin my life over a stupid mistake. I love you." But her words fell flat, mere echoes of the love I once believed was unbreakable. The truth hung heavy in the air, and her pleas for mercy only deepened my sense of betrayal. As she begged me not to expose her, I felt a mix of anger and sorrow crash over me like waves, drowning out the love that once defined our relationship. "Joseph, please," she begged, her voice trembling as tears welled in her eyes. "You can't tell anyone about this. I'll lose everything: my job, my friends. You know how people talk. They'll ruin my reputation." Her desperation was palpable, and I could see the fear etched on her face as she realized the gravity of her situation. "Think about what you're asking," I replied, my voice steadier than I felt. "You're asking me to pretend this never happened, to keep your secrets safe after what you've done. If you're relating to this story, or have ever been in a situation where trust was broken, don't stay silent. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments. Let's start a conversation about forgiveness, healing, and how we move forward from betrayal. Your voice matters." She stepped closer, reaching out to grasp my arm, her grip pleading. "I'm begging you, just give me a chance to make things right. We can fix this, but I need you to promise me you won't tell anyone. If word gets out, it'll destroy me." The frantic way she spoke revealed just how much she valued her image, even more than our marriage. "Protecting your reputation is more important than our trust," I shot back, my anger flaring. "You made your choice, and now you want me to keep quiet about it." Her panic morphed into frantic excuses, each one more implausible than the last, but the weight of her pleas settled heavily in the room. It was a painful reminder of the betrayal, and with every word, she was doing everything she could to shield herself, leaving me grappling with the fallout of her actions. As I listened to her desperate pleas, a storm of emotions raged within me. Part of me wanted to forgive her and rebuild our relationship, while another part craved revenge, whispering of exposing her betrayal. I was trapped between love and hurt, unsure which path to take. As I weighed my options, anger clashed with love. Part of me craved revenge, imagining the satisfaction of exposing her betrayal. But I hesitated, realizing that such a choice could destroy her. I wrestled with guilt, questioning if I could live with myself if I chose to reveal the truth. She looked at me with wide, pleading eyes, her voice trembling as she begged me to consider our family. Think about the kids, Joseph. What will they think? What about our friends? My reputation, everything we've built together, will crumble. Her desperation was palpable, a mix of fear and shame. She painted vivid pictures of our lives unraveling, the whispers and judgment from those who once admired us. You wouldn't want to hurt them, she implored, grasping my hands tightly, her grip firm yet shaking. The weight of her words pressed down on me, igniting a conflict within. How could I think about our family when she was the one who had betrayed us? Yet her pleas echoed in my mind, trapping me in a web of conflicting emotions, love for her, concern for our children, and the painful truth of her betrayal. As her pleas echoed in my mind, a fire ignited within me. I could no longer be a passive participant in this charade. The hurt she caused awakened a strength I didn't know I possessed. Determined to confront the truth, I prepared to take a stand for myself and our family. With a newfound resolve, I decided to expose her affair. I drafted a post, pouring my heart out about the betrayal that shattered my trust. I shared the truth with close friends and family, knowing the fallout would be painful, but believing it was time to reclaim my narrative. The fallout was explosive. Friends reached out, expressing shock and disbelief, some choosing sides while others offered support. Family members were stunned, struggling to understand how our seemingly perfect marriage had unraveled. My wife was furious, her panic evident as she confronted me, demanding I take it all back. Her tears, once pleading, turned to anger, accusing me of ruining her life. In that moment, I felt both vindicated and heartbroken, watching the person I loved morph into someone I barely recognized. The truth had surfaced, but at a cost I was just beginning to grasp. In the aftermath, I was engulfed by guilt and anger over her betrayal. She vacillated between rage and despair as her reputation crumbled, revealing her insecurities. While I felt empowered by my decision, we were both left to navigate a new reality shaped by chaos and shattered trust. As I sat in the silence after the storm, I reflected on the consequences of our actions. Our once warm home felt cold and empty, filled with the weight of shattered trust. I realized our lives would never be the same. I needed to reclaim my self-worth and find strength, whether together or apart. Through this tumultuous experience, I learned invaluable lessons about trust, honesty, and self-worth. Trust must be nurtured, built on honesty and open communication, while honesty, though painful, is essential for true connections. Most importantly, I realized my self-worth isn't tied to others, but inherent in myself, guiding my journey forward. Emerging from the chaos, I discovered hope and resilience. The pain of betrayal became a catalyst for personal growth, guiding me toward a healthier life. I committed to rebuilding my happiness, embracing authenticity, and surrounding myself with supportive people, determined to create a future filled with trust and genuine connections. As I reflect on the journey that followed, one thing became clear: healing takes time, and moving on requires strength. If you've learned from this story, I hope it's a reminder that our worth isn't defined by others' actions. Keep growing, stay true to yourself, and never settle for less than you deserve.